This episode is brought to you by Indie Film Hustle Academy, where filmmakers and screenwriters go to learn from top Hollywood industry professionals. Learn more at ifhacademy.com. How did you get started in the business?
Well, it's two separate kind of answers, Alex. I mean, I got started when I was about 3-4 years old, literally making your parents laugh, your relatives laugh. I had two older, funny brothers. They're hilarious still. And, when you're the youngest and the shortest, you tend to be the loudest. So I had to fight for my spot, and usually when we had an act together, I would close. And I'd be on the coffee table, and I was sort of like a little Jewish Don Rickles at 3, 4, 5 years old. I could imitate them and so on and so forth. And that never stopped. Mm-hmm. That just has never stopped. And when I graduated from NYU Film School, I had two wonderful friends that we did improv together, because I was always, still doing comedy in some way. And we formed a comedy group. And we were together for a long time, like 4 years. But all during that time, I knew that I was sort of hiding and that I needed to be out there by myself, that I was, at my heart, really a stand-up. Mm. And so after 4 years, towards the end, it was just a really mostly hard time. I had a baby already, and I was substitute teaching in the junior high school that I went to, and which was weird because I'd be in the teacher's dining room, and they were teachers that I had, and now they said it's okay to call me by my first name, and I would say, no, you're still Mr. Graff, you're Mr. Tardino, I can't. So then we started working, and I said I just gotta get off on my own. And out of the blue, a friend of mine calls from NYU and said, listen, do you know anyone who could do stand-up at a fraternity party, a ZBT house on Mercer Street? In the Village, and I instantly said, I'll do it. And he goes, well, when did you start doing stand-up? I said, I've been doing it for a while. Lied my ass off. Put together a bunch of, like 10, 15 minutes that I thought would be okay. This was a Tuesday, and the gig was a Friday night. This might work, that might work, but I just had to do it. And I got up there that night, and I just exploded. I just improvised for like an hour, and there was no turning back. I mean, that was really it for me. So that was like 1973 and change.
And I mean, I've worked with stand-ups a lot in my career as a director, and it's hard to improv. It is hard to get up on that stage and do. And you always think you're the funny guy. You're like, oh yeah, I could tell jokes, with 3 or 4 people, but you get in front of a bunch of strangers with that light on you and that mic, all of a sudden you're not as cute as you might have thought you were.
Yeah, it's until you get your feet underneath you and your brain working the right way, right, and you're able to put yourself into your act, and not just do like an act, but talk about what's important to you and find the funny about that. Then that's really something, For me, it's all these years later, there's only a few places I'm really comfortable in my own skin, and on stage is one of them.
To watch the rest of this interview, head over to indiefilmhustle.com.